Wow. Wow, 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 right? Amazing job. So far, the talent that has entered into this is amazing, but that isn't why we're here, of course. We're here because of traumatic brain injury. We want to bring awareness to lots of things about it. Uh, Not just the trauma of having it, but also the positive side of coming through that because the brain is an amazing thing in our body. It can make pathways around damage. And that's how people that have extreme damage can still talk, can still function in any fashion that's normal or what we consider normal. But it's really important not to assume when you meet someone how they're reacting. This app in particular, with the amount of people that are disabled or dealing with something that is mental or physical, is a large number because we're able to do it in the privacy of our home. Wrap your head around that and then think of a different way to come at people than to think that they're always doing it from a negative standpoint. Their behaviors may not be. So that's an important factor. And also that people that share as special guest artists on this program, we expect everyone in here to grasp that they're dealing with challenges and that when you leave here, don't tell that challenge as if you're telling it in a bad light. Just saying. Because we are definitely about not cyberbullying as well. And we're going to have a concert about that soon. So come back for that. But right now, you're getting ready to hear an incredible story from Venomous Fuck. And she is one of my good friends, but I never even knew this story. So she's sharing with you for the first time.
In October of 2024, my life changed in a way that I never saw coming. I had a spontaneous rupture of my brain's membrane because of high intracranial pressure. And the scary part is, I didn't even know what had happened. There wasn't a dramatic moment where I knew my life was about to change. I didn't know something inside my head had ruptured. I didn't know I'd developed a leak. I didn't know that I was in danger. I had no clue. I just kept living life. I went to the doctors because my nose wouldn't stop dripping. I kept living my life, going to work every day. And I developed meningitis. And that's when everything changed. The rupture had created a pathway that allowed infection to reach somewhere it never should have been. I became critically ill and came dangerously close to dying. But I survived. I survived. My survival came with a price, though. The first repair they did through my nose. The doctors patched the opening and they tried to stop the leak. But the repair didn't hold. It blew back out. So they had to take another approach. They put a VP shunt to help control the pressure inside my head. By placing a shunt wasn't as simple as just putting a tube in and moving on. To get the shunt where it needed to go, the surgeons had to create a path through healthy brain tissue. Think about that for a moment. The very tissue that had been keeping me alive, allowing me to think, remember, to taste, smell, and experience the world, had to be entered to save my life. They were trying to save my brain while also having to operate on my brain. I'm grateful they did. But there were things that I lost along the way. I lost my ability to smell completely. I cannot smell anything. The world smells like plastic. Really, there's no smell. And when you lose your ability to smell, you don't realize how much of your life is connected to it until it's gone. You lose more than the ability to smell flowers. You lose the smell of someone's cooking, the smell of rain, the smell of a familiar place. That smell that reminds you of a person, you know, or a moment that you've spent with that person, or just simple things like that. Because so much of what we experience as taste is connected to smell, I lost most of my ability to taste too. Food isn't the same. Something as simple as sitting down and enjoying a meal just reminds me that my brain doesn't experience the world the way it used to. And then there's the memory. My memory. My short-term memory was affected too. I can have a conversation and forget parts of it. I can be told something and genuinely want to remember it, only to have it disappear like it never happened. And sometimes I know I should remember something, but I can't find it. I really can't. I don't know. I don't know what happens to it. And one of the hardest things to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it, because I still look like me. I can still talk. I can still laugh. I can still carry on a conversation. From the outside, someone might never know that anything happened. But inside, things are different. There's pieces of the person that I had to learn to live without, you know. And that's one of the things I want people to understand about brain injuries and neurological injuries. The damage isn't always visible. People can see a scar. They can see a hospital bracelet. They can see the shunt if you tell them about it. But they can't see the memories that are missing. They can't see the sense of smell that's gone. They can't taste what I can't taste. They can't feel the fear that comes with wondering whether something inside your head is going wrong again. It's probably one of the biggest ones. I don't tell this story because I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want that. I tell it because I want people to understand. I want people to understand that being alive doesn't mean that everything goes back to normal. I almost died without even realizing how sick I was. And when I survived, I didn't simply go back to the person I had been before October 2024. I had to learn who I was now. I had to learn how to live with the things I lost. I had to learn how to trust my body again. I had to learn how to accept that some things might never be exactly the way they were before. And there is grief in that. There's grief in realizing that you may never smell something again. There's grief in realizing that food may never taste the same. There's grief in forgetting something that you wish you could remember. And there's grief in knowing that surgeons had to go through healthy brain tissue to save your life. But there's also gratitude, because I'm still here. The things I lost matter, but so does everything I still have. I still have another day. I still have people I love. I still have memories, even though some of them are hard to hold on to. I still have a voice, and I still have a story. Maybe that's what survival really is. It's not pretending that nothing happened. It's not pretending that you didn't lose anything. It's acknowledging what you lost, mourn it when you need to, and then find a way to keep moving forward. I survived something I never expected to survive. I survived meningitis. I survived surgeries. I survived the placement of a VP shunt. I survived losing pieces of the way I used to experience the world. But I'm still learning what survival means. So when you look at me, you may not see a brain injury. You may not see the memories I've lost, the sense of smell, the changes in my ability to taste. You may not see the fear, the grief, or the things I struggle with. But now you know they're there. And maybe that's the most important thing I can give you from my experience. Don't assume that someone is okay just because they look okay. Some of the hardest injuries are the ones nobody can see. I almost died without knowing what was happening inside my own head. And today I know how precious it is to simply be here. I'm not the same person I was. I've lost things, I've changed, I've been afraid, I've grieved, but I'm still here. And that matters. This isn't just a story of what happened to my brain. It's a story of what I lost. It's a story of what I survived. And most importantly, it's a story of what I'm still here to tell. I know there's people that's in so much worse shape. I'm thankful that I only lost what I lost. It could have been so much worse.